speaking, in an arena that you haven't really been a part of. That's an amazing evolution in your life. And so you're evolving in that. So coming to men's Bible study, coming to this stuff, it propels you. You're learning every day more of this arena than you ever have. That's how it works. We're in different arenas at different times, and part of it is, well, this is the bottom line. You're going to deal with beliefs in that. You're going to be getting new beliefs, because in some areas of our life, we only have a little file. Some of you might have had in your God file, how I look at God is, nothing's in it. It's pretty much an empty file, and it says God on the tab. But you open that file, nothing, no folder, empty. Now you're learning, you're getting beliefs being formed in this church. So what's going to be crazy is if you leave this church and go to another church, you're going to be looking at them and go, that's not been in the file before. That's not in my file. That's not the way we did it. And our tendency is to always say, our belief system is the correct one. And so we go with that. Same thing with a job. You go to a different place of employment or in the same field, you're bringing all your file cabinet on. This is what I believe about this kind of work. We even have files on. When you walk into Walmart, you got your file. Some of us have the file of, I don't go to Walmart. We have files on all kinds of stuff. And God, being gracious, give me 1 second, will go through each file in our life to make us more effective, more holistic, heal us, take us farther. And then He's going to challenge us, like we talked about Sunday, you got gifts and talents, you're going to have to be responsible for those, and it's going to take us to another level. Does that make sense? What's your question?
In like, say, a relationship standpoint, you said belief...
Ugly files!
You said belief systems normally change involving pain of some sort. So is there a way of, changing a belief system without necessarily experiencing pain in a relationship?
Yeah. The mere fact you're asking that means there was pain in the relationship. And you're thinking about your next one or the current one you're in. How to invest in that. What we talked about also a couple weeks ago was investing in yourself. Right. So if I am, like these guys are getting ready to get married, right? They need to make it part of their lifestyle to invest in their marriage. So whether that's reading books on marriage, whether that's going to a marriage group, whether that's... Why? Because they need to grow in their ability to do relationships, like anything else. Once you stop growing, I've learned all I need to know about relationship, then it starts to plateau, and then it starts to decline. And something happens. In any arena of our life, we have to invest in it. And what I was shared with them before is, all you guys, whatever your area is you want to grow in, instead of listening to music on the radio every time you drive, put in a CD of something in that. Read a page a day, something that teaches you more than you knew. You have to invest in yourself, invest in your relationships, invest in your leadership skills if you want to grow. If not, things happen. And this is the problem with some of us. You can have an employer that his level of knowledge is here. You come into the job, and within a very short period of time, you realize, I know more than this guy. What does that say about that guy? He's going to be an ineffective leader because he's not competent. He's already got employees that outgrow him. So for him to stay in the leadership position, he always has to be learning. So when this guy comes in at this level, he's always staying a little bit ahead of him. And I gave you a bunch of stuff a couple weeks ago on what you can do to do that. You get mentors in your life. You hang out with people that are 3 or 4 laps ahead of you in the field you want to be better in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why? You need their input into your life. At some point, you can't lead yourself. I played drums. I was self-taught. At some point, I hit the ceiling. I don't know how to read music. That will limit my ability to play. If I hear the beat, okay, I can figure out what they're doing. Okay, yeah, I can do that. But if you're in with a bunch of really good musicians who know music and stuff, you're the clown. You know, you're the weak link. And pretty soon, you're watching it in the front, clapping with everybody else. Because you've tapped out. Does that make sense? What was your question?
The question was, I know you spoke about motivational things to listen to in the for maybe our next class, could you give us a list of like things that you would suggest?
In what field?
Books or the CDs, you know, to throw in the car. I mean, what?
Okay, just leadership in general?
Yeah, just anything.
Oh, yeah,
I was
sure.
thinking about that the other day, but I don't know where to go. I don't know what to get.
I'll bring like 5 or 6 things next week.
Okay.
For relationships, too?
Yeah, we can relationship stuff. Cool. Yeah, I'll give you one right now, love and respect. Women want love, guys want respect.
Amen.
And how we can build that in each other, how we can meet that need. You know, because, go ahead.
Have them read the book How We Love. That's an
Another one, How We Love.
Amazing marriage book.
Thank you. Yeah. I would recommend anybody that's interested in leadership, Good to Great by Jim Collins. Good to Great. Yes, ma'am.
I have a comment. I hope it's helpful. No one of us born knowing anything. And the only way to know is to search, as you said, search, study, try. And we could be raised in an environment that you're useless, nothing you do is good,
Totally.
or all this stuff. Other environments, oh, thank you, you're doing good, although he's making all the mistakes.
Right.
But the input comes into this person, depends on what he is receiving. If our mind is open to receive and know what we're hearing is not me, and I'm going to change myself to be better, I will be better.
Yeah. Okay. Let's run with that example. Okay. Say I want to be a fireman. Man, I'd love to be I'm motivated to act. I'm like, you know, that's really what I love this since I was a little kid. I want to be a fireman. Goes into your belief system. You're stupid. You'll never make that.
I'm not good at that.
Dang it! I gotta go out here. So now that causes me to act. Forget it all. I'm done here. Tried. So what is it? What if our both, you know, whatever our motive is at? You know, I want to go to school. I want to get my degree in physical education. I've always loved that. You know, I want to teach people how to do stuff and stuff. You get into your belief system. School sucks. Remember how bad you did in school. You don't want to go to school. That's right. Down in the dump emotionally. Action, retreat. Back to my job. You know, 7-Eleven is my life. 7-Eleven's a bad job. It's just not your fit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everything happens in the belief area. So whatever your motivation is, we have to go into that. And that's the beautiful thing of having somebody like Maggie had said, somebody behind you going, you can do it. You can do this. You're smart. You know, one of the best things someone said to me when I got sober, and it was really my sponsor, and he also became my spiritual father. He said, hey, Joe, because I used the same excuse, 31 years old. I've been driving a beer truck for 10 years, or at that point, 7 years. I've been driving a beer truck 7 years. I got 3 little kids at home. How am I ever going to get out of this? You know, I'm not educated. Education was my big deal. I'm not educated. How am I ever going to go to school? Oh my gosh, I'm just kill myself. And the guy goes, hey, Joe, you're really smart. But nobody ever said that to me. He goes, you're just not educated. There's a big difference. And that was like a freeing comment to me. In fact, one of the aspects of growing churches in this book that says was universal across 32 countries is that people without seminary degrees had growing churches at a far greater percentage than those who had seminary degrees. They were locked in. Why? Because they were locked in their belief system. This is the way we do it. This is the way I was taught. This is the way we operate. This is the way we flow. And so that was their actions. And their emotions. Whereas somebody that was outside that box, what can it hurt? God's for me. Maybe we can do this. You know? So there's a different mindset to it. So it's the same thing with us in here. Some of you may need education to achieve what you can. The truth is you're smart. It's your belief system that says otherwise, and if you attack that and realize that that's a false belief, you read the paper every day, you read this, you do this, you're doing life, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, you've got a lot of credit going. So does that make sense?
Yeah, Joe, I was just going to comment too on a really great book is The Strengths Finder.
Yeah.
And just because it's based on you read the book, you take this test, and then it breaks it down in all these different categories, what your strengths are, and then what some of your weaknesses are, and it really opens up to your actual truth versus what maybe that belief system may be. Because it did for me. I know in fact. You know,
what's it called?
The Strengths Finder.
Strengths Finder. You Google that or whatever?
Yeah, Strengths Finder 2.0 is the newest one.
They had us take that where I work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the managers took it, so
Yeah.
we knew our top 5 strengths.
Yep.
And it's really cool because then you know what your strengths are, what's drawn, and where you know.
Exactly.
And then you focus on positive, you know what I mean? You have strengths, like you said.
Another key leadership principle that you might not have heard of is, know your strengths and weaknesses and work on your weaknesses. Bad idea. Know your strengths and weaknesses, focus on your strengths, get other people to do your weaknesses. Because you'll never be good at them. I don't like administration. It's just like, when we have the board meetings and we go over the numbers, it's like, are we done yet?
I agree with that 100%, but I've also heard work double hard on the things you're not good at. For example, you know what I mean?
You know why you don't want to do that?
I know.
Because if you do the strengths test, or another one is hypersonic. That's an easy one that you can do on online. It's awesome. It's geared towards leaders because it's geared towards business, and it'll say your strength. The thing is,
that's too much energy, right?
well, yeah, and you'll never like it.
Right.
If you're made, say you're if you're a square peg, you fit best in a square hole, right?
Right.
And a round hole is not really your sweet. You're kind of weak at it. You will kill yourself always trying to get good at that. Do this. Find the person that's a round peg and show them what to do. And then you allow them